Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we discuss about the meaning of strategy. Strategy is an action that managers take to attain one or more of the organization's goal. Strategy can also be defined as the general direction set for the company and its various components to achieve a desired state in the future. Strategy results from the detailed strategic planning progress also. A strategy is all about integrating organizational activities and utilizing the allocation to scarce resources within the organization or organizational environment so as to meet the present objectives. Now, the meaning of policy. A policy in management is a general statement which is formulated by an organization for the guidance of its personnel. The objectives are first formulated and then policies are planned to achieve them. Policies are a mood of thoughts and the principles underlying the activities of an organization or an institution also. So, policies are identified as guides to thinking in decision making. They assume that when decisions are made, these will fall within certain boundaries. Policies do not require action but are intended to guide managers in their decision commitments. When they do not make decision, policies provide a framework within which a person has freedom to act. Now, types of strategies in organization. So, stability strategies. These type of strategy is used by an organization in case where the organization is satisfied with the current situation and therefore it does not want to move away from such a position. Consequently, in such a case, the organization goes for the stability strategy. Now, growth strategy. Growth is related with expansion and diversification of the business of operations. A growth strategy can be implemented in the organization through market development, product development, merger, or diversification. In case of product development, the organization adds new products to the existing products. Of these new products, replace the products that were offered by the organizations earlier. Now, retrenchment strategy. An organization may decide to retreat or the change from its current position for the purpose of improving its position. Or sometimes, in order to survive, this type of strategy has to be adopted by an organization when the company is going through the times of recession, competition also. Now, combined strategy. In case of large organizations that are working in a number of industries, there may be a need to adopt the combined strategy also. In this way, a combined strategy reflects the mix of the strategies that have been mentioned above right now. So, other types of strategies: combined strategies, competitive strategies, corporate strategies, business strategies, functional strategy, operating strategy. Now, establishing organizational objectives, formulation of strategy. This involves establishing long term goals of an organization. Strategic decision can be taken once the organizational objectives are determined. Analysis of organizational environment. This involves SWOT, that is SWOT analysis, meaning identifying the company's strength and weaknesses and keeping vigilance over competitors, action to understand the opportunities and threats both. Now, forming quantitative goals, defining targets so as to meet the company's short term and long term objectives. For example, 30% of increase in revenue this year of a company. Objectives in context with divisional plans. So this involves setting up targets for every department so that they work in coherence with the organizations as a whole. Now, performance analysis. This is done to estimate the degree of variations between the actual and the standard performance of an organization. Now, selection of strategy. This is the final step of strategy formulation. It involves evaluations of the alternatives and selection of the strategy, the best strategy, I mean to say, amongst them to be the strategy of the organization. Now, types of policies. The following are the various types of policies now that I mentioned right now. Organizational policy. These refers to the overall policies of the organization. These policies decide the goals of the activities of the organization as a whole. Now, functional policies. Functional policies are prepared for different functions such as production, marketing, finance, personnel, etc. Functional policies are decided keeping in view of the organizational policies. The policies help in coordination of efforts of different people. Now, originated policies. These are the policies which are initiated by the managers. These policies are prepared for the guideline of the subordinates. It is also known as internal policy. Now, appealed policy. This type of policy is formulated only on the request of the subordinate. This policy help the subordinates to handle some situation also. Now, general policy, a policy which does not create any impact on the performance of the employee. The policy may represent the philosophy of the top management executives. For example, motivating the employees to perform the job in a better way. It is a general policy. Specific policy. This is a policy which is formulated with regard to any specific issue, that is transfer, promotion, compensation, etc. A specific policy must conform to the board of outline mentioned in the general policies. Written policies. Written policy, it is the policy which is formulated with the immediate or intimidated in the written form. Here there is no possibility of any degree and deviations or degree of deviations. Anyone should adhere to the written policy. Implied policy. A policy is inferred from the behavior of the superior. It is an implied policy. Such policies are more flexible than other policies. Supportive policies. These policies are meant to be formulated to support the major policies. A concern may have the development of a new product as a major policy. The research to find out the unfulfilled needs of consumers may be a supportive policy also. Now, minor policies. The policies which do not influence the main objectives of the enterprise may be called minor policies. The policies may relate to some routine matters of some less important. A policy may be to hire some more workers in case of some emergency cases. Sorry. Now, composite policies. To achieve one objective, a number of policies may be used. These are composite policies. Now, principles of formulation of policies. It must be specified, clear, crystal, easy, and simple. It should be flexible so that it can adapt to changing circumstances also. But it should also be stable. It must consider internal factors. It may be written or verbal, both. It must reflect the objectives of the company. There should be a line of the communication in the implementation cell. There should be evaluation at certain intervals. There should be coordination among all the policies. It must not be contradictory with each other. A policy should relate one objective with other. One policy should be complementary or complementary with each other. Adopting traditional versus intervening new or inventing new. Sorry. Now, policies should be based on justifiable or justifiability of honesty. Now, decision making. Decision making is the process of making choices by identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternatives, resolutions. Using a step by step decision making process can help you make more deliberate, thoughtful decision by organizing relevant information and defining alternatives also. Now, decision making process. Number one, establishing objectives. Number two, classifying and prioritizing objectives. Number three, development selection criteria. Number four, identifying alternatives. Number five, evaluating alternatives against the selection criteria. Number six, choosing the alternative that best satisfies the selection criteria. Number seven, implementing the decision. Now, organization and its meaning. So, organizing involves the grouping of activities necessary to accomplishing the goals and plans, the assignments of these activities to appropriate departments, and it includes the delegations of authority also. According to Lewis and Allen, organizations is the process of identifying and grouping the work to be performed, identifying and delegating the responsibility and authority, and establishing the relationship, for the purpose of enabling the people to work most effectively together in accomplishing the objectives also. Now, nature of organizations. Process. Organization is a process of defining, arranging, and grouping the alternatives activities of an enterprise and establishing the authority relationships among the persons performing these activities. Now, structure. The function of an organizing is the creation of a structural framework of duties and responsibilities to be performed by a group of people for the attainment of the objectives of the concern. Now, dividing and grouping the activities. Activities of an enterprise are required to be distributed between the departments. Accomplishment of goals and objectives. An organization structure has no meaning or purpose unless it is built around certain clear cut goals or objectives. An organizational structure consists of various positions arranged in a hierarchy with a clear definition of the authority and responsibility. Now, purpose of organizations. Grouping of activities is necessary to attain objectives. The assignment of each group is to manage with authority necessary to supervise it, creating coordination horizontally and vertically in the enterprise structure. Now, departmentations or departmentations. It is the process of departmentalizations and enterprise for gaining efficiency and coordination, both. The grouping of tasks into department and sub-departments and delegating of authority for accomplishment of the task. Basis of department. So basis of departmentation by functions. Similar activities of a business are grouped into major departments or divisions under an executive who reports to the chief executive. Now, merits of departments by functions. It suits with a small enterprise for creating major departments. It promotes specializations. It economizes operations and make possible the adoptions of logical and a comprehensible structure also. It facilitates interdepartmental coordination also. And demerits of the departmental by functions, it may lead to excessive centralizations. Decision making process is delayed. Departmentations by product. In a multi-product organizations, the departmentations by product most suits here. So that's for the video, my friends. In the next chapter, we will discuss about the merits of department by product. Thanks a lot for watching my videos.